141 years before Kirk, Star Trek. Enterprise gave Captain Archer the same punishment. When audiences think of Starfleet captains being punished for defying orders, Captain James T. Kirk's demotion in Star Trek IV, The Voyage Home immediately comes to mind. Kirk's willingness to put his crew, his ship, and even Starfleet's authority on the line for the greater good is one of his defining traits. But what many fans may not realize is that this iconic Starfleet punishment was not unique to Kirk. Over a century earlier, Jonathan Archer, the very first captain of the NX-01 Enterprise, received almost the exact same fate. Star Trek Enterprise quietly mirrored Kirk's story, showing how Starfleet's relationship with its most daring captains hasn't changed much across time. Kirk's famous punishment. In Star Trek IV, The Voyage Home, Kirk and his crew return to Earth after their unauthorized mission to bring Spock back to life and save the planet from an alien probe. Despite their insubordination, sabotage of the USS Excelsior, and theft of the Enterprise, the Federation Council chooses leniency because they saved Earth itself. Kirk, however, cannot escape accountability entirely. His punishment is to be demoted from admiral to captain, returning him to the captain's chair of the Enterprise A. It's a perfect resolution for Kirk. The demotion is technically discipline, but it also restores him to the role he loves most. It's a poetic gesture, reaffirming that Starfleet understands Kirk's true value is as a starship captain, not a desk-bound admiral. Archer's earlier echo. Long before Kirk ever broke the rules, Captain Jonathan Archer had already faced something strikingly similar. In Star Trek Enterprise's later seasons, particularly after the grueling Xindi mission, Archer's relationship with Starfleet Command grows strained. Archer routinely disobeys orders, makes morally questionable decisions for the survival of Earth, and even takes actions that border on war crimes. He is celebrated as a hero by some, but others within Starfleet see him as dangerously unpredictable. After the war with the Xindi, Archer is brought before a tribunal to answer for his actions. Like Kirk, he stands accused of insubordination, unauthorized use of force, and reckless endangerment of his crew. But the charges are softened because Archer's actions directly saved Earth. The punishment is both a rebuke and a backhanded compliment. Starfleet withholds greater advancement opportunities, tethering him to the captaincy of the NX-01. Much like Kirk later, Archer's discipline ensures he stays in the one role where he excels, commanding a starship on the frontier. Why Starfleet does this? At first glance, this parallel might seem coincidental, but it reveals a deeper truth about Starfleet's complex relationship with its most daring captains. Both Kirk and Archer embody Starfleet's ideals in ways that the institution itself isn't always ready for. They are explorers at heart, more concerned with discovery, morality, and survival than with rigid adherence to orders. By punishing them with continued service as captains, Starfleet acknowledges a paradox. These officers are too dangerous to promote but too valuable to sideline. Removing them from command would waste their talent, yet granting them unrestricted power would be even riskier. The compromise, demotion, or restricted advancement becomes a way of keeping them contained while still benefiting from their brilliance. The narrative poetry. From a storytelling perspective, giving both Archer and Kirk the same punishment highlights the cyclical nature of Star Trek. History repeats itself across generations of captains. Archer, as the first Starfleet captain to venture deep into space, sets the mold for the kind of captain Starfleet will always need but struggle to control. Kirk, as the legendary hero of the 23rd century, inherits Archer's role as the boundary pusher who must be disciplined through a symbolic demotion. The punishment is less about stripping them of power and more about cementing them in their truest identity. Both men are, at their core, explorers, not administrators. To make them admirals or politicians would be to diminish them. Their punishment is, ironically, the greatest reward, ensuring that they stay in the center seat where they belong. The cost of being a Starfleet captain. There's also a darker implication in these mirrored punishments. Archer and Kirk both discover that heroism comes with limits. Starfleet will celebrate them when they succeed, but it will never fully embrace their rebellious nature. They are simultaneously indispensable and mistrusted, admired and restrained. The same punishment is really a reminder that, No matter how many times a captain saves Earth, Starfleet will never give them complete freedom. For Archer, this reality means his legacy is complicated. He is revered as a founding figure of the Federation but burdened with